And my life literally changed. Like, that is the turning point of when I started to, stop buying fast fashion.
Yes.
The moment I learned, I was like, no, I don't make enough money for this.
Facts. Hey guys, it's Natalia and welcome back to Unfiltered Fashion Talks. Today we have your favorite guest, Veronica, with us.
Hello everyone.
Hello, welcome back. Third time, I think.
I'm glad to be back again.
Yes. Oh my gosh, so happy to have you. How have you been? How's life?
I've been good. Life has been life.
Yes,
We're
it has.
Out.
Yes. Everybody loves when you're on here, so I figured it'd be fun to have you on again. And I feel like this time we can just go into maybe more specific topics that people want us to cover in honor of Earth Month, Earth Day, Rana Plaza, all the things. I feel like it's just we should cover why we do what we do, basically.
Yes, exactly.
Like
Agreed.
Sustainability, ethics. Why do we do it? Why do we care? Why should people care? And just like the basis of like where it all stems from, I guess.
Yes. Okay. Agreed.
Yes. So give us like your background on like when you kind of like learned about all of this, or like, I don't know, if there was like a point in your life where you were like, shoot, stuff's happening. I need to do better.
Yes. Okay. So I actually discovered about like the Rana Plaza disaster when I watched True Cost for the first time in 2018. I was in Columbia College, Chicago, and my professor had recommended us to watch this documentary for our assignment because we were learning about like the origin of like where garments are made and stuff. And she was like, I'll watch this documentary on Netflix. So I did. And my life literally changed. Like, that is the turning point of when I started to, stop buying fast fashion. I started to look more into sustainability, and I just like questioned everything. So in 2018 is when I like discovered it. But I think it's funny because when the Rana Plaza actually happened was in 2013, which
Right.
I didn't hear about it
me
at
neither.
all.
Yeah.
But we were 13, and at that time in 2013, I was really starting to take fashion more seriously and like applying myself more. So I just think it's kind of crazy how like when that happened, that's like when I started like, really stepping into it. But sadly, I didn't hear about this until like 4 years later.
Yeah.
4 or 5 years
No,
later.
me too. I don't recall ever hearing about it in 2013 or any time after that until I also watched the True Cost. And I feel like that's when I also kind of learned about it, which I think for me, I watched it in 2019 because 2018 is like I got introduced to like sustainability and ethics by like my classmates and stuff, but I didn't look into it until like 2019 because it was like my spring semester of my freshman year. And then I was like, maybe I should look into this. And everybody was talking about the True Cost and like how it's like the documentary to watch, which I totally agree. It is the documentary to watch. I feel like it really highlights kind of everything. But yeah, after I watched that, I was like, shoot, what the frick? Like, why don't we hear about these things all the time? What the heck?
I know. I also think it's because we hear our news through Instagram and social media and stuff. And I feel like in 2013, I had I have an Instagram in 2013?
I did. It was a different time though.
Yeah, it was a different time, and we didn't get news like that.
No,
like,
it was just dumb pictures. Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like it was happening like on the interwebs, and
Probably.
we were not just like scrolling the internet like that. We were like,
yeah, I don't know what we were doing. Yeah, I think it was like literally middle school for us probably. So
yeah. So it makes sense,
yeah.
But unfortunately, like it happened, and it's honestly crazy how like that it's one of those situations where like the worst has to happen for people to realize like that something bad is going on and like to actually start taking action. So it's unfortunate that it had to get to this state where like a huge disaster has happened, and now like people are really starting to take action.
Right.
And it's crazy how much it's grown through the years too.
Oh my gosh,
like now that we're like, I don't want to say that sustainability is a trend, but
it kind of is, unfortunately. I mean, it's good and bad, but
I watch Shell Bizzle
I love her.
Yes, on YouTube. I love her.
Yes. She's the best. So good.
And she had talked about how like sustainability isn't a trend. The trend is learning about overconsumption. I think that's what she said.
That's kind of interesting. Like that,
that now the overconsumption was a trend, not not the sustainability.
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense, I feel like.
Awareness of being over consuming.
Yes.
So, and I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Like, because in a way, we all kind of live a sustainable lifestyle, like in different ways. Like if you're like not consuming too much of something, like that is sustainable. Like, so it's like whenever this last century, 20th century, like overconsumption has really grown, and like it's all about like what you're wearing and like Instagram, it's for the Instagram and all that, and like having the best clothes and having a lot of clothes. Like I feel like whenever I was growing up and I wanted like I always wanted a lot of clothes.
Like me too.
That was just like the thing. Like, why are we obsessed with like we feel like that's the epitome of like our success or something.
No,
like,
totally.
Our success in our closets, like having a ton of clothes, but in reality it's not, because you just get so tired of it and you start to like throw it out.
Yeah, no, it's so true. I feel like everybody, at least like where I grew up, it would be like you'd get your back to school clothes like right before the school year started. You get a whole new closet for no reason. I mean, granted, did my parents ever buy me an entire new closet? No, I maybe got like 2 tops or something that were new, because they were not that kind of parents. But everybody would always just be like, oh, like new year, new entire closet, or like this event, I'm gonna buy myself like 20 million dresses for, like just like very normal to get a lot of stuff for honestly no reason when you probably had a perfectly good closet already.
I know, right? It doesn't make sense. Like I strictly remember being so excited to go back to school shopping.
Yeah, it was like the highlight of the year, like for supplies that I didn't need because I probably already had pens and pencils that worked. And then also clothes or like shoes, and I'm like,
just love new.
I know there's something about something new, which I get. Like I still get very giddy about new things sometimes. I'm like, this is so fun. But I'm like, why? I have like perfectly good stuff too. Like I should be excited about the cool things I already have.
Yeah.
But
and it's crazy how much like ever since I've become aware of how much like I consume, I literally don't consume anything.
Yeah, no, me too. It's like crazy.
I don't buy anything. Or like I literally just buy groceries.
Literally, it's and groceries like, and gas for me.
I pay my bills, of course, but, and supplies for my brand.
Yeah.
Like that's literally the only thing that I buy. I used to be obsessed with thrift shopping. I still am, but because of where I live now, like, and how there's barely any thrift stores, the only good ones are 2 hours away, and like I'm not gonna make that trip often. Like I don't do it often, so I literally buy clothes like once every few months.
No, me too.
It's crazy because I used to be such a fashionista. Like I used to buy clothes so much growing up, and I've been thrifting ever since I was 8 years old. Like my mom showed me like whenever we first moved to like Jacksonville, Florida, we like found a thrift store and I was obsessed. We would buy everything from there. Like I would buy all my toys, all of my clothes, all of our furniture and all of that. And it wasn't until like 2015 that I actually started to buy fast fashion. And then in 2016, like I started to delve more into it because I had a car. I could go to the mall. And I still definitely thrifted a ton, but like now I could go to Forever 21 and I could buy things, and I still didn't even buy. Like I would always buy everything in the sale section.
Oh, absolutely. You only buy at the sale section.
Sadly, I thought that all the really cute stuff that was like $20 was expensive.
Oh, me too.
Which is just so ironic.
Yes.
I'm like, it's not expensive, that's cheap.
Yeah, no, it's so crazy. I feel like it was such a thing growing up to like go to the mall for fun, but anytime you went, you genuinely bought stuff. Like I would always come home with like at least like one decently sized bag from like Forever 21 or something with like
yeah.
only stuff from the clearance section. So it was like maybe $1, $2, $5 at most for like tops. Did I need any of that? No, but that was like such a thing to do, like after school on weekends. Cause like I live in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing else to do but to like go eat or go shop.
Same though.
Like,
Same. In Jack, there was not that much.
yeah, those were the only two things we could really go out and do unless you like, I don't know, went to the movies or something, but not my vibe. But like, yeah, you couldn't just like, I don't know, go to the beach or something. Well, and not spend money.
Well, I had a different experience. I went to the beach a lot.
Like
I went boating.
Like for fun. The only thing we would do for fun on weekends is like go to Walmart because it was the only place that was open past like 9 p.m.
I'm
like
dead.
Those are the vibes. So like the only option we had for fun is to like spend money basically, whether it was like food or like clothes or something. Yeah, there's like nothing else to do. All you have to do is like spend money, which like is so bad because then it feeds into like just overconsumption because it's like, what else are you gonna do?
No, literally, it's honestly crazy. And I'm grateful though because now I save so much money.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like I literally don't. It's like I save money, but I don't have money. But
yeah, because like, now you're an adult and you have to pay other things.
Yeah, like I have so many bills and
exactly.
And like I literally just invest into my business basically and like supplies. So many supplies. And that's the struggle with being a designer too. Because my boyfriend, he's a musician. And yes, he does have to buy things like instruments and they're expensive. But they're like an investment and they're kind of like a one-time investment.
Yeah, you don't need to be like upgrading your guitar every 2 months.
Yeah, exactly. Like for us, we consistently need to buy notions and like needles and just stuff. And I'm like, it's never ending. Like I'm
never.
always buying supplies.
Me too.
I'm always getting packages in from Etsy.
Me too.
That's where I buy all of my supplies.
Yeah. No, I feel like, that.
I don't really have any other sources that ship to me. It's difficult out here.
It is quite difficult. I feel you. So overconsumption is obviously very bad, as we have, mentioned. So what was your journey of like stopping overconsumption, or like what are tips that you'd give people to not overconsume if they're like trying to like start that lifestyle, they're like learning about it, for beginners? What would you say?
So when I started, I honestly just took a step back and I like evaluated that one, I don't make enough money for this.
Facts.
Like I do not make enough money to be buying a bunch of random things. And like when I actually went into my closet and I looked at all the clothes that I had and how much I actually wore, I was like, I bought this and I've never even worn it. I just thought it was kind of cute and it was on sale. And I was like, oh, it's such a steal for this price. Let me just buy it. And I feel like a lot of people have that mentality. Like when they go into a store, they kind of feel obligated to leave with something.
Yes.
And so they just buy something that they don't need, or things are on sale. And like, because they're like so cheap, like when like, fuck it, let me just buy it because it's so cheap. I know that I definitely did that when I was like younger. Like I definitely would buy things just like for those reasons.
Right.
And basically like how I stopped, I didn't stop super cold turkey. Well, for fast fashion, I did like, I stopped just buying fast fashion. Like the moment I learned, I was like, no. And it's funny because I had finally, when I was living in Chicago, they had a Zara and that was my first time finally ever going to a Zara. And I would go into it all the time. I think I only bought like 3 things from it though, because like I didn't have any money. I was like college student. I didn't have a job. Like, so I had bought like 3 things from it. And I was like, oh, gee, finally Zara. Cause their stuff is so cute. Yeah. I can finally buy from it. And then I discovered about this whole thing. Literally like maybe like 3 months into me living in Chicago. And I was like, no. I also had bought, it's so funny, like back then Shein was like bathing suits.
Yes, because I bought a random bathing suit off of Shein when it was like weird and trendy in high school to like buy those cheap. If it was like Zaful and Shein were like bathing suits
and cup sheets.
Yes. I was like, am I the only one who remembers that era of Shein? And it was
Oh,
the
I do.
worst bathing suit I've ever bought. It literally
No,
came
it was
undone in
not
2
good.
seconds. Like the stitching literally came off in 2 seconds. I was like, great.
It's like during high school, would buy from Shein just their bathing suits sometimes.
Yeah.
And people were like, oh, where did you get that? And I'm like, OMG, Shein, cup sheet.
Yeah.
You need to check them out. Even though it would take forever to get to
Yes,
you.
it was the worst.
Forever. Like literally like months. Like
Yeah.
it would take like a month or two sometimes. And um every time they would come in, they would be so small on me. Like I could only really wear the bottoms. Because the
Yeah.
top, like a large top, is not a large top. And I've always had big breasticles.
Yes, you are quite blessed.
I was young.
Some of us aren't
So
as blessed.
Well, no, you're lucky because you can wear whatever bathing
I
suit
mean,
you
listen,
want.
like, sure, but I've looked the same since middle school. So, like,
Struggle. I mean, slightly the same though. Me too. Like this
it'd be like that.
testicles ever since I was like 15. But like, um, yeah, they would never fit me like up top, and I would just get so pissed off. And you could never buy just the top or just the bottom, like
Right.
different sizes. It would always be like a set, and I'm like, dang, do I buy? So I would buy the large. I would fix the bottoms to fit me.
Mm-hmm.
But then the large tops still didn't fit me, so I barely ever wore them because like they didn't fit me, and my tatas would be spilling out everywhere.
Yep.
So I was like, I'm literally buying these, waiting forever for them to hopefully fit, and then they didn't. So then I just stopped buying from them because like it just wasn't working out for me. I was like, this, I'm just not even gonna invest my money. And then when I discovered, all of that, I was like, wow, well, another reason not even to get on that site again. But
Exactly.
yeah, so basically I just evaluated like my closet, and I was like, what do I actually wear from this? And like I don't even have enough money to invest into more clothing that like I barely will ever wear. And now when I go shopping, like I will think about that piece so much.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I go even thrift shopping, even if
Yeah.
it's cheap, like I'll be like, how many times am I gonna wear this? Literally. I'm like, I want to be able to style this in so many different ways. Like, can I wear it under something? Because I really love layering. Like, I'm like, can I wear it over something? Over something? Like, is this like a staple? Like, how long am I gonna have this for? Because now when I shop, like I'm thinking to keep these pieces for the rest of my life.
Oh, me too.
Even if they don't fit me when I'm older, I'm going to package them up, fold them up, and place them in a nice little vacuum sealed bag. And whenever my child, we have children.
Yes, no, me
or
too.
my not my grandchildren, my nieces or something.
Yes.
I have no nieces, but
the day that I do,
I will whip this bag out and I'll be like, look at all this clothes from when I was like your age. And like, I kept it so nice and I curated this closet. Like,
yep.
So that's basically what I'm trying to do now. Like I'm curating my closet for the future. And like, I feel like I kind of also have like an older grandma style. Like I like to look like bohemian / grandma.
Yeah.
And they're pieces like they're pieces that I know I'll be able to wear when I'm older.
Yeah.
And there are some things that I'm like, I don't know if I'll really wear this, but then I'll I'll just keep it and I'll fold it up. But that doesn't also mean that you have to buy clothes now for that version of yourself when you're older. Like if you want to buy something that's really cute and really young, do it.
Yeah.
But like with the intention that you'll wear it out a couple times. Like you're not just gonna wear it for that one time, for that one birthday, like that you are gonna wear it multiple times.
Yes.
Like it's fine. It's not bad to completely shop with the trends if it's your style.
Exactly.
Like I feel like there's a lot of things that are always trending that I like because it's my style. Like right now, like denim on denim is coming back.
Right.
It's come back a million times. I've always loved denim on denim and I wear that not all the time, but like I will style that together and I always have ever since like I was like in high school.
Exactly.
So it's like these trends are like coming back, but like I like them and I can like my style contributes to it. Like I really don't love love Y2K on me necessarily.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of all of it either.
Yeah, there are some things that I like though. Like I like low waisted jeans and like low waisted
I don't
skirts.
mind them, and I like the baby tees. I think those are fun.
Yeah,
but
like
aside from that, I feel like that's it for me.
Yeah, but I like use those elements to my style. Like I wear low waisted jeans and then I'll have like a really, bohemian looking whatever,
Right, right.
I like incorporate it into my style, but it was something that like I kind of already like. I honestly I was kind of iffy on low waisted jeans sometimes.
If it's the right pair, yeah, it does. If it's the right pair, it doesn't look that bad. But there are some pairs that are like,
yeah, I feel like I like low waisted skirts more because
yes.
I love dresses. I wear them all the time.
Oh my god, a good low waisted denim skirt.
So cute. Yeah. And so it's like you can contribute to those styles, but like in your own way. And like vests are trending.
Yeah.
I've always loved vests. I have been obsessed with vests ever since I was super, super young because I've always been in love with 70s and I had multiple different vests growing up.
Me too. I went through a phase in elementary school where for every single school picture, I was wearing like a button up and a vest for every single freaking school picture.
Oh, that's cute.
Because I was like, I gotta dress like business professional for this picture. I was like a little like 7-year-old with a little vest on, but they're so cute. It's so fun.
They are. They're so universal. Like they will always be in trend, like in style, because like there's different kinds of vests and they're like something that you can layer.
Exactly.
Like it's not like you don't have to wear it just by itself, even though I love wearing them just by
themselves.
Right.
They are cute.
Like literally this is my collection right now. Best.
I know. Shameless plug, but go check it out.
Right?
Go shop.
Currently on brideva.com.
Yeah.
But it's just like those things are so timeless and trends always come back. So it's just like kind of like what do you want to like contribute or like how you want that trend to kind of like signify or whatever. Like
right.
Yeah.
No, I agree on pretty much everything. And I feel like it was kind of the same for me. I went cold turkey with fast fashion. It took everything in me though, because I was living in Italy at the time. It was like my last 2 months of being in Italy. And listen, I lived so close to a Zara and everybody in my class was shopping at Zara and it was so freaking cute. Here's the thing. I knew Zara before all of these girlies knew Zara because I'm from Spain and Zara is a Spanish brand. So like I've known about Zara my entire life. Like whenever I would go visit family in Spain, like in elementary school, like I would come back with like Zara clothes and all my friends would be like, oh my gosh, where'd you get that? I'd be like, Zara. They would not know where it's from. All of my high school clothes, whenever like people would ask like, where'd you get your stuff? I'm like, I got it in Spain. It'd be from Zara and nobody would know what it was. And now it's like super trendy. I'm like, I knew it before all of you, but now I'm like, dang it. That shouldn't be a flex because Zara isn't a good brand. Ugh, kills me.
They're literally
I know. And it sucks.
Of fast fashion.
Yeah, and it sucks because they do have cute clothes. Like I like their style. And it also sucks because they're like the only like best known Spanish brand. So anytime my family or people in Spain like hear that I'm a fashion designer, they're like, oh, you're the next Zara. I'm like, no, I'm not.
No, I am not. I'm the complete opposite.
Yeah, I'm like trying to do the opposite and they don't get it because they think Zara is like the greatest thing ever, obviously. And I'm like, oh no, I'm trying so hard to not be Zara. But
I never thought that, or I didn't discover Zara until way later, until I was like 17 or 18 around there.
That's so crazy to me.
I know, because I didn't have a Zara.
I mean, yeah, they weren't really in the States except for like maybe like New York, Chicago, like LA maybe. Yeah, like only the big cities had them, but middle America did not have them, let me tell you.
And I never knew that, I never would have guessed that it was like fast fashion.
I know, because it's expensive.
Like it's expensive.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
Fast fashion, and it's so like nice. Like it just doesn't look like Forever 21.
Exactly.
So it's like I never thought that it was that, and then like when I found out that they are literally the creators of fast fashion, like, literally
the blueprint. Yeah.
And that's just nuts.
Yeah, but it's crazy. Like even like Aritzia is fast fashion and they're expensive and they're like the same Zara vibe of like very clean, like minimal kind of like luxury looking, but it's like and people pay that price and don't think about it twice. at all.
Exactly.
And they don't realize like it's still fast fashion, but then they'll be like, it's like the only thing I can afford is fast fashion. I'm like, fast fashion can be expensive too. You're just blind to it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Because that's super trendy too. I feel like I see so many like Aritzia girls on my TikTok page, like the Aritzia pants or whatever. I don't know.
That's a new one for me. I've never.
Yeah, I didn't know about them until I think I lived in New York, and I think that's when I first heard about them, which is like recent too. But
yeah, I didn't hear about it till 2020 when I saw it on TikTok.
Exactly. Yeah, but it's like
I was like,
expensive.
I don't know what Aritzia is.
Yeah, it's wild.
And I feel like I completely understand that fast fashion is the only thing that people can afford, because I feel like I am understanding that even more living here.
Oh my God, absolutely.
Which I always understood why people,
totally.
But I feel like whenever I did discover it, I wasn't a Nazi about it.
No, like you can't shame people for it.
But I would make people aware of it. Yes. And I guess like the way that I came off, maybe it made people feel like I was shaming them or something. Yes. Because I'm a Virgo and things can come out kind of.
Listen, it happens.
Like I would, inform people. I'm like, oh, you shouldn't buy this. Right. I'm like, you shouldn't buy fast fashion. You shouldn't buy Forever 21, whatever. But then, as I started learning more about it and like more about like, what is accessible to people and everything, like I didn't really, I stopped doing that. Like stop shaming, not shaming people,
but like saying stuff.
Like that's a word, shaming people for it.
Yeah.
And like I understood like why some people would still buy from it, because especially size inclusivity.
Yeah, like, it's a huge deal.
Yeah, because I was like, just thrift, but then like there are not that many things available for plus size, or there are, but they're not cute. Yeah. Like they're just like ugly. And so I understand like why some people would still buy from fast fashion. And also here in Puerto Rico, like there are barely any thrift stores, and they're all, basically located in one area, or like which is like 2 hours away. Not everyone's gonna do that. Right. And like everyone mostly shops in Marshalls and TJ Maxx here. Like that is the go-to. And it's funny, like my first job was at Marshalls.
That's so funny.
And I loved that place.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I grew up shopping at TJ Maxx too. My mom loves it.
Yeah, my mom loves TJ Maxx too. I mean, she doesn't really buy the clothes from there, but she loves like the home and
the home section. So fun.
Yeah. And it's such a struggle too, because at Marshalls and TJ Maxx, like they sell sustainable stuff.
Yeah.
Like sustainable home things.
Right.
Like the brands and stuff. So it's like, and I was always so like iffy about like if shopping at those places are ethical or not. They're not.
I know.
Like I didn't buy the clothes anymore from there. But like now that I live here, I do buy some of the home stuff.
Oh, me too.
Like, the food stuff.
Yeah.
Because also there are not many healthy stores here. Like there's no Whole Foods, there's no Trader Joe's, there's none of that. They just have this regular grocery store that has some that they've actually upped it. They've gotten much better, but like the food and stuff, like there are more healthy options, but like in Marshalls, they're more affordable. Yeah. Like they'll have cheaper options for like an organic salt and pepper, or not organic.
I know what you mean.
Like organic snacks or vegan snacks, because I am plant-based, or I eat plant-based. So it's like, what is accessible to you? Because back in Florida, like it's crazy, because back in Florida and all that, I didn't realize how much easier it was to be sustainable and like to live a low waste lifestyle, because I also live a low waste lifestyle in my home, not in just my fashion.
Yeah.
And I try and buy not as much plastic, like I try and, eat plant-based. And it was so much easier to buy plastic free and like organic and all of that in Florida, like at Whole Foods or at regular like Publix.
Yeah.
And here it's not that simple. It is not that easy. Everything one is always wrapped in plastic. Almost everything. You have to go to like certain grocery stores, and like the closest grocery store to me is 30 minutes away.
Dang, like, that's far.
am I gonna drive 45 minutes to go to another grocery
No.
store
Mm-mm.
to get plastic free? Like that is just like, then you got to think about the gas.
Yeah, no, there's a
So
lot of factors,
now,
you know?
there's just a lot of factors,
Yeah.
and it's like you have to think about what is accessible to people, and
Yeah.
like people here, like there are no, you know, the closest best thrift store is 2 hours. Like who
Right.
the fuck is drive 2 hours all the time to go shopping? No, people are gonna go to Marshalls, which is like 10 minutes. I mean, it's an hour for me, but like 10 minutes to these people that live in the city, and they're gonna go and shop at Marshalls. Like,
Yeah.
so it's just like really, you know, difficult to just tell people to stop buying from these places. So I tell people now to just think about what they're gonna buy and like just buy less.
Mhm.
I'm like, don't just buy that top because a million other girls on Instagram are buying it, it's trendy, or you think it's cheap, or it's cute, like it's kind of cute or whatever. Like just really, really think about it, and
Mhm.
like how many wears are you gonna get out of it?
Yeah.
And basically I'm like, just be more conscious of what you are consuming. Literally, like I try not to buy a bunch of little mini things either, or
Right.
if even if they're free, like I'm like, I don't want a bunch of free little mini things that I'm not going to use
Exactly.
either.
No, it's so
I
true.
I don't want any more reasons to throw things away.
Yes. Yes.
And like, because I feel guilty throwing things away.
Yeah.
And I was way better at like having less waste, you know, in Florida, but now I do throw more things away because everything comes in plastic here. So it's like literally I can't escape it. But that's just like as you keep growing, and like as you keep like being like in this environment of like low waste and sustainability and all that, you just really start to learn like what is accessible and easier for you. Because like I'm sure in LA people have it way easier, where there's like
Oh my God. Yeah.
composting, like
Or
I
like
mean, I live on a
refill
farm.
shops would be
I don't even
nice.
compost.
Yeah.
Yeah, refill shops. Oh yeah, on my farm I don't even compost myself. I just chuck everything outside.
I mean, that it composts itself when you do that.
It's composting stuff.
Dude,
Because
yeah.
like
If
I
I
don't
had a
feel like,
backyard, I would just throw my food scraps out there too, but I can't
yeah.
really do that out here.
I mean,
Well, I
do
technically
you have
don't
a
have
yard?
it. No, I don't technically have a yard. But if I threw it out in the woods, I think homeowners association would probably come for me and be like, why is this woman throwing her food out
Like,
there?
I'm feeding the birds.
Yeah.
I'm like, I
they'd
feed
like
the
that.
chickens. I feed the neighbors' chickens when I do it. I'm like, I just chuck the
See,
veggies and stuff over
that's perfect. That works.
there. Yeah. I'm too
But
lazy to actually do the compost.
yeah, you know what? Whatever works. Whatever works. That's accessible to you, so it works, you know? Speaking of. But yeah, no, I think you have a great point. I feel like I've also switched my mindset to just telling people like trying to change their minds on how they consume rather than just being like, this store is bad. Because I obviously have a lot of people that will now ask me, like, oh, is this a bad place to shop? Or is this a good place
Me
to
too.
shop? And I'm like, listen, sometimes I know the person like really well, and I know they don't have the means to shop more sustainably or like I don't know, more expensive brand. So I'm like, this is not my preference. But if you're gonna wear that item a million times, you're gonna get really good use out of that item a million times, then like do it. But if you're only buying it because it's on sale, or you're only buying it because like you randomly came across it or whatever, then like that's what's wrong. And I feel like that's been a lot easier to implement in people's minds. Even like, I don't know, like for my like mom and stuff, I feel like it's been easier for her to like switch to that instead of just like cold turkey, like don't shop fast fashion. I feel like whenever she sends me stuff, I'm always like, okay, why are you buying this? And like have to take her through the process of like, do you actually want this? Are you just buying this for this certain vacation? Or are you going to wear this a million more times? Like things like that, where I'm just like, I don't want you to shop just to shop. Like, actually think about it. And I feel like that helps a lot more than just trying to give them the sustainability and ethics lecture, because sometimes that just really turns people off too. And like, I get it.
It really does.
It comes off very aggressive.
Yeah.
Which like, I get it. I know I see like a lot of like, you know, content creators that do a lot of sustainability and ethics. And sometimes they're like trying to like tell like why brands are really bad, or like, I don't want to say they shame other creators who are like, I don't know, working with Shein or something like that. But they kind of like fall into that. And then it just comes off really bad for everybody in the sustainability space, because it makes us all look like we're shamey, judgy people, when the reality is it's not. So I feel like just like
We just
Kinda.
want
Yeah,
the
I'm like, just switch the
we just want to help
conversation
the
a bit.
environment and people. Like
Exactly. And it would be
we
better for
want
people
good.
too, because it's like then you're spending less money because you're actually thinking about what you're
Exactly.
buying. So it's like a win-win for everybody. But I feel like the
Yeah, it
conversation
is.
needs to like switch to that a little bit more sometimes, because I feel like it's easier to digest for people than the whole sustainability and ethics talk sometimes is,
No, for sure.
you know?
And I can tell that like I've been having like an influence on my friends back
Yeah.
home,
Yeah.
because like they have started to stop buying fast fashion,
Yep.
or they like shop way less. Like I went
Mhm.
thrifting with like my best friend since we were like 7th grade. When I went to go to Florida and visit, we went thrifting, and she was like, I don't think I'm gonna get that much wear out of this or whatever and all of that,
And you're
like
like,
while we were thrifting, and
love
she
to
ended up
hear
not
it.
buying. Yes, she ended up not buying anything, and I was like, I've taught you well.
Love
I'm like,
that.
I've influenced you.
Yes.
So yeah, I just think is being really mindful, and it's exactly that. Like I'm helping you save money, girl.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
Seriously.
not here to tell you to don't buy that, buy my brand.
Right.
Like it's like I want you to save your money. Like I know that you can't, like we're on the same boat here. You can't afford that either. Like
Literally, yeah. Like I'm on the same
we're
page.
struggling out here.
I can't afford my brand either.
Yeah. My mentality now for like investing into my clothes, like if I want to buy something that's like really expensive and typically like, I can't afford that, like I will just, I will buy that less. Like I'll buy that occasionally.
Mhm.
And a way that I've gotten my mentality into being okay with buying something that's really expensive and it's just like one item is like, one, I am a designer and I know how much time goes into
Yes.
something and it's really stressful. Like the amount of hours I spend sewing. And that's also why I was so pissed off when I found out about like like,
Yeah.
like how unethical people are paid.
Right.
Is because like I was like, dang, I know how like painful it is to like be sitting at a sewing machine
Oh
and
my
sewing
God.
for
Yeah.
so many hours
So
and to not
much.
be paid what you deserve. Like that is so frustrating. And it's funny because back then I wasn't even paying myself what I deserve.
You know what? That
I
makes two
was
of
trying to
us.
be cheap because I was trying to compete with these fast fashion brands, which is
Yep.
crazy.
And now I'm just the whole 180. I'm like, I don't care. I
Yeah.
am expensive. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
Like, I
And I
don't
and I
care.
questioned it so much too. I was like, I'm like kind of getting sidetracked a little bit, but I'm gonna say this real quick. When I was young, I was, like learning to sew and everything. And it would take me so long to make something.
Mhm.
And I was like, if I'm supposed to charge myself like $10 an hour or something, like
Right.
making this, and it cost me like, and it took me 6 hours to make, that's like $60 right there.
Hmm.
But like this shirt is like $10
Right. Like it doesn't
at
add up.
Marshalls. Like, why is it so cheap?
Yeah.
I was so confused. And I was like, how? And that's literally what I struggled with a lot. Like, I was like, how? I don't know what kind of designer I'm going to be because I want to be accessible. But
Hmm.
like, I don't understand how these prices are so low. Like, I would literally think about that
Oh
so much when I
yeah.
was like 14, 15. I was like, I don't know what kind of designer I'm going to be because, like, I guess I'm going to be like pretty high end because my stuff is going to be expensive. I'm going to make money.
Yeah. No, it's so true
And I
though.
was so confused. And then when I, discovered all that, I was like, oh my God, fuck you, makes sense.
Yeah.
But okay, the other thing was the mentality that I've gone into like investing into my clothing and like buying better in quality is I really just try to think about how many times I'm gonna wear it. How many times I'm gonna wear it, how you know, I especially love supporting, local, and I had
Hmm.
bought like a pair of, I didn't buy them. My mom bought them for me for Christmas.
Oh,
I love
love that.
them. But I've been wanting these sandals that are handmade here
Hmm.
in Puerto Rico. And I met the owner of the business.
Hmm.
And so I really wanted these sandals. So my mom bought them for me, but they're handmade here and they're like $200.
Right.
But I wanted to buy them for myself, but my mom was like, "Oh, I'll just buy them for you for Christmas." And I was like, "Oh, okay." But
Perfect.
right, that was the only thing I got, but
Hey, I love it. It's perfect. Great investment.
literally. But I just like get myself into the mentality of like, how long am I gonna wear this? And what I tell other people to help them with like getting into that mentality is when you go to a nail salon, like, and you're sitting there for like how many hours, and then you pay for your nails and it's like over $100 or something. You know, it depends. If people get something crazy, you know, a lot of people be getting a lot of details now.
Yeah.
Like, it's a long time.
Yeah.
And when you go to the hairstylist and you're sitting there for however many hours getting your hair dyed, like, you're experiencing how much time is being put into that, and you feel like what you're paying is worth it.
Right.
I mean, I know that there's sometimes some people where, you know, it still hurts to get
Oh, absolutely. But you see it being done.
Yeah.
You see it right before your eyes. Like, you see the time it takes, all the tools they use, like everything. And you're like, okay, it makes sense.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Right.
And with clothing, you're just getting it. Like, you're receiving it, you're at the store, you spend zero time. You didn't see, like, you bought it in like five minutes. Like,
right.
So it's not, the time put into it isn't worth it.
Yeah.
To you.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's why we always share like our process.
Right.
To like tell people like, this is, you know, how long it takes. I try not to force it too much so, because I don't want to be annoying. Like,
yeah, but I feel like
how long it takes to make this, buy it.
Yeah, I don't think I ever specify like, this takes me 3 hours to make, but I feel like people just seeing videos of you sewing without even you having to say anything about that just gives them the understanding of like, okay, this takes time. This is being like carefully made just for me. Like, I want to pay the price, but which like also helps me like when I shop at other places, if I can see somebody making it, I'm like more wanting to spend the extra money because I can like physically see it. Like, people need that connection to like really put 2 and 2 together, you know?
Yeah. But then it's kind of funny though, because then people see that, they like see it being made, and then they're like, oh, this is expensive.
Yeah. I
like,
get that a lot.
Like, I was watching this reel of a guy making bowls out of skateboards.
That's cool.
It was really cool. And they're really cute bowls. They're really cute. And I was like, these are expensive, but I wonder how much. So I went to Etsy, and there was like $1,000 for a bowl. And I was like, oh, well, I can't do that.
Dang.
I can't do that.
And people get mad for like $100.
Like maybe like 100-ish.
Yeah. Wow. Dang.
You know, I'm not questioning how long it took them. I'm just
right. Yeah. I wish I could afford $1,000 for a bowl. Would be nice. Yeah. But we're not there yet.
Yeah, we're not there yet. One day.
Yes.
But yeah, people just like need to see the work to feel like it's worth it, or like they are. And it just doesn't make sense sometimes when people really, really question it, or like they're like rude about it, like like that they don't feel like it's worth it. And I'm like, when you go to work and you're getting like, and you're working your ass off, whatever, and then you get pissed off because you're not getting paid like what you deserve, like, how does that make you feel?
Exactly.
Like why don't, like, if you think you deserve that amount of money for, you know, the work that you've done, like, why don't I?
Exactly.
Like, just because I'm my own business, like, doesn't mean like I can just make things cheaper. I have to make things more expensive.
Yeah, exactly. Which is funny because I feel like at the beginning, I thought it was the other way around, where it's like, oh, well, if it's my business and I make it, I can make it cheap and accessible and all these things. And then I quickly realized that is an unsustainable business model. And actually, you lose a lot of money when you try to do that. And you should actually raise your prices and actually make money at some point. Because it gets very expensive to run a business. Like, just even the supplies and all the random things you need, and I don't know, even just like machines and stuff, like upgrading is so flippin' expensive. Even threads, they add up.
They do.
Like surgery threads, those big rolls, those add
they're like
up.
Two something.
Yeah. And I'm like, I have to use 4 at a time for my surgery, or like you know, and then just it adds up. It adds up a lot.
Yeah. And also, like, one thing too that like I didn't even realize until this collection, and I'm like, where was my mind in the last collection? I was not paying attention because I didn't know how to run a business, and I still don't.
Yeah, it makes 2 of us.
When people, or not when people, websites, them fees they're taking.
Yes.
No, they take a lot. Like, Shopify takes a fee. It's like $5.
Really? Squarespace
Yeah.
doesn't.
Oh. But Shopify is such nice templates.
But Squarespace doesn't take your money.
I know. You have to, and then you pay $30 a month.
I mean, I pay yearly for Squarespace, but you also can get different plans. But my plan that I get, I think I get the highest one. I think is like $500 a year, which is kind of a lot. Like whenever that hits me, the yearly mark. How much is that per month though? I don't know, but it's kind of a lot. Like whenever it hits me, I think it hits in May because that's when like it renews. That one hits hard. It might be like 400-ish. I just know it's a lot.
I was going to my phone because I wanted to divide how much 500.
Yeah, it's about like, well, if it's like $450,
$41.
Yeah, it's like $40-ish a month. So you pay more than me. Well, yeah, but I don't pay fees on my transactions.
Yeah. And also you have the highest plan.
I do. You can have the lower one, but I like the higher one because I don't know, it has more stuff. But yeah, there's so many like
lower plan and I pay 30.
Dang. So yeah, there is a lot of hidden fees with businesses though. Even like,
and then PayPal. I hate PayPal.
Oh, I absolutely hate PayPal too. Those always
take like $10.
Yeah, they kind of take a lot, low key.
They take a lot. And I'm like, $10. I needed those $10.
I know. I hate freaking like I understand that some people can only use PayPal, so like, use it if you need to. Yeah. But if we can avoid PayPal altogether, let's avoid it because they take a lot and I don't like it.
It's my international orders.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. And
I'm like, $10.
I know.
I'm like, I was accounting for those $10.
I know.
Like, but then you're supposed to like
account for the fees. Exactly.
But I forget.
I know. No, me too. There's so many little things you need to think about. Even if like you do like a photo shoot or something, like adding whatever fees it took for that or your time for all of the marketing and the making the website. And like, there's so many other
to me. I'm like, I don't know how to count into
Dude, I don't either. But like there's so many other like hours that you spend making a collection that isn't just the sewing part that should be accounted for. But I'm like, I always forget that I should account for like the time I like thought about it, the time I sourced everything, the time I like wrote down the detailed descriptions on my website or like just like so many little things.
I'm like, someone needs to describe it to me. Like, wow. Yeah. I've looked at videos on how to price your items.
Me too.
Stuff, but like they're always kind of like drop shipping kind of stuff.
Yeah,
like
it's hard for handmade stuff, I feel like.
Yeah.
But
and I'm like, I don't understand how I'm supposed to do this. Like
I know. I feel like for me, I usually just add like an extra hour for everything. And I'm like, that should probably cover everything. But maybe it's actually more than that. And I don't know. But at least it's better than what I was doing before. So
yeah, that's like my biggest thing was having my own business. Like literally I'm working all the time.
Literally.
Editing, making content, like whatever. And no one's paying me for it.
Exactly. Which I feel like is that's what nobody sees in it is like the fact that you're working all the time, but you're not getting paid for the like X amount of hours that you're
stressor ever.
Yeah, I hate it. Even like for like YouTube, I spend so long like filming and editing and like sure YouTube pays me, but that does not even cover like the hourly rate I should be getting for the amount of time I put into it. It's like insane. Sure.
I don't even barely get paid.
Yeah, right like it's ridiculous. But here we are doing it anyway.
Yeah. We love it.
I love it so much.
But it's such a stressor. And it is. That's just like the biggest thing. Like I don't capitalism. I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
Capitalism, I don't know.
Just blame it on capitalism when you can. That seems to be the common trend around here.
Literally.
Yeah. So thanks for coming on today. Thanks for chatting.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
It's always fun.
Yes. Shout yourself out as per usual.
Veronica Arroyo. I don't know.
Just Google her, you'll find everything.
I have a YouTube Vied by VA. Go check it out. I share my life.
Yes.
And my Instagram is Vied_VA. My TikTok Vied_VA. And that's basically all that I have.
Perfect. Go check her out. Everything will be linked down below in the description. Also go follow me because I always forget to shout myself out. But
Yes.
it's always a good time over there too. You can follow the podcast, my personal Instagram, my other Instagram, my brand, whatever you want. It's a fun time over there. But that is it for today. Let us know your thoughts on sustainability and things in the comments. Keep the discussion going, talk to people, educate yourself, and we will see you guys in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.